Hey, it's the official Scotch Test Dummies. We got us Compass Box Delilah's blend. Guinness Extra Stout Lager. What do these two got in common together? And Ferguson.
Test it. All right, so Ferguson. Whoo, hot button topic, baby.
Ferguson, Missouri?
Actually, Ferguson, Texas.
Ferguson, Texas.
And you would
There's
think,
another.
yeah, Ferguson, Texas. What's going on there? Think about it though. If your city is Ferguson and everybody's just saying Ferguson, it's like Madonna. You say Ferguson and you're not thinking Ferguson, Texas. You're thinking Ferguson, Missouri.
Probably.
Suburb of St. Louis is what you're thinking. But Ferguson, Texas is nowhere near any of that. Yet, a lone anarchist showed up for the riot. But he did not apparently check the proper Google Map trip maker. And he shows up in Ferguson, Texas. So you got an anarchist and like two communists. And they're like, hey, where's the riot? No,
In
you're
Ferguson,
off.
Texas.
Texas.
All by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. An anarchist and a couple communists in Ferguson, Texas. There's no riots going on there, folks. Not in Texas. So, but yeah, it's the I'm gonna call it the Madonna Simplex.
That's a man outstanding in his field.
Yeah, no wonder he's an anarchist. Hello, can't even work Google Maps. I'm going to Ferguson, bloop, Texas, baby. Here I come. Hey, where's it at? What's going on? So, yeah, folks, just yeah, no need to. Yeah, you're an anarchist, but you don't even know where you're going. Whew.
Bart. That's Bart. I'm Scott.
Or Bruno, tell us about this. Tell us about this Delilah.
Another Compass Box.
It's another Compass Box. We're fanboys.
A while back, I did come into a bottle of Delilah's, a blend from Compass Box. It was made for the 20th anniversary of Delilah's Bar in Chicago, which
if I'm not wrong, is what a couple blocks from
right down the street from the Sedgwick stop. That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, Twisted Whiskey Sisters, hanging right in there.
Twisted Whiskey Sisters.
And I think they even know Mike Miller. I believe he's the owner of Delilah's.
That's my understanding. Now, give us the history of Delilah's, because you got Compass Box coming out of Scotland, and they're making a small batch or large batch.
Actually, I'll read some of it. It's just off the back, so I'll hold it up. You can see the bottle. Compass Box This is a Compass Box homage to Delilah's, the legendary punk rock whiskey bar in Chicago, to celebrate the bar's 20th anniversary in 2013. The whiskey was developed jointly by John Glaser of Compass Box and Mike Miller, as an expression of their shared vision that great whiskey should be enjoyed by all. This is an intense yet subtly complex Scotch whiskey, aged in a mix of ex-bourbon barrels and new American oak hogsheads.
A hogshead, for those that don't know it, is it's not a hog's head, actually.
No, it's not the lid to the barrel either.
Someone told us it was a lid once.
No, someone didn't tell us. Someone told you, and you ran with it, that the hogshead was the lid to the cask.
Hence, Scotch Dummies.
Scotch Dummies, that's right. So anyway, this is blah, 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 ex-bourbon barrels and new American oak hogsheads. It creates a style of Scotch whiskey that thinks it's a bourbon, making it perfect served as a shot with beer. Thus the Guinness, and we've got a Guinness story. But I will admit, that's pretty interesting. I mean, even the statement in there, this is a 20-year anniversary of a punk rock bar. So that in and of itself is some longevity. And then the idea that this is to make sure that Scotch is shared by all. This isn't, hoity-toity. Now, if we channeled some Billy Idol, would that be offensive?
I don't know if is that... that's
a nice day for a...
don't even remember. But yeah, that's more than 20 years.
White wedding.
White wedding. The white wedding. His hair was like dyed blonde. But here's the deal. You're going back 30 years, aren't you?
That's probably what, mid-80s?
You're going 30. Yeah, you're going back 30 years. That's not 20 years. So we're going to, a little Guinness.
I think that we've talked about it in a video or two that we've done a while back. Bart had come over. I had some Guinness. It was an anniversary edition of Guinness. We had poured the Guinness. We were sitting around talking and we were drinking it. And then after a while, we got some Scotch, probably Glenlivet, maybe.
I think the Glenlivet. Mm-hmm. And it struck me that as I was taking a sip of the Scotch after just having a sip of the Guinness, for some reason, it really opened up my entire palate. And I was catching a lot of, multiple subtle flavors of the Scotch. And I thought, what is that? I'd never been able to do that. And I tried it again and I said, hey, Bruno, you're going to think I'm crazy, but give this a shot. No pun intended. He does, and he was, well.
Yeah, I noticed as well that a lot of the flavors in the Scotch were coming out that I hadn't tasted before with the lager that was already on my palate. Now this is, as they said, they think is best served as a shot with beer. I'm not going to do it as a shot. I'm still going to drink it as Scotch.
Yes.
And just, wow, you got quite a dose there.
Sorry. Yeah, I really got a little happy. I got a little happy with the Delilah.
It's a nice day for a
white
bunch of Scotch.
Bunch of? Like a banana?
If Billy Idol is offensive like to modern punk rockers.
Bunch of Scotch.
I apologize. I don't mean to offend any of the punk rockers at Delilah's, and I would like to visit it someday. Mm-hmm. I've seen pictures online. It looks like a very interesting bar. What you got?
I'm getting a little hint of what I would say maybe a little coconut or vanilla. And definitely a floral kind of coconut in there. What about you? Still trying to, very smooth, subtle flavors and tones, and great mouthfeel, but that coconut just kind of sat there for me. Kind of I'm feeling coconut, maybe a little bit of wood. I'm going to do it with this first.
I think the French virgin oak cask is, I don't get the bourbon, the subtle hint of the bourbon or a Scotch that thinks it's a bourbon. I'm not getting that.
Do it after the beer and you will. After the beer, I do get almost a little bit of what you do get from that bourbon, almost that Cornish, not like, that corn-like alcohol grain. Wow, this is very, very interesting.
It's very smooth.
It's extremely smooth. Do you get any of the coconut?
No, I still don't get the coconut. I'm probably because of the beer, the ale, the lager. I'm not getting. It's very smooth. It's very good. I'm not necessarily getting.
Before the beer, I got the coconut, and this is neat. Well, I haven't added any water to it.
And it's 40%, so it's
it's great neat.
Great neat. No harsh burn to it.
After the beer, I'm definitely getting some of the more bourbon type flavors to it. That was really interesting. So, we need to find out a little bit more back history on what it even takes. What is it? How does a punk bar get into even the scene of Scotch and the fact that they're going to
How do they hook up with?
How
does this partnership form?
Yeah. So,
this camaraderie.
Is somebody from Compass Box, is John Glaser hanging out in Chicago and hears about the bar, stops by, strikes up, I don't know. So we'll get some of the history on that.
Him and Mike Miller are like childhood.
Maybe they were in a band together. Maybe they hated.
Could be in a band.
Yeah.
A Billy Idol.
No, I don't think so. Don't go back to that's 85.
They're our age. John Glaser's our age or somewhere.
Okay, hey, maybe we are tapped in. Maybe Billy Idol was the whole reason. Was he married to a woman named Delilah?
No, but that does.
Yeah. Why would Delilah even be
Let's go.
the name? Let's check that later. I'll put it in the show notes. All right, Bruno, why are we in the suits? He told me to wear a suit, and I'm curious.
Our producer said that in order to be successful, you have to look successful.
Are you the producer? Who? Your mother.
My wife.
Well, we look successful. So long, Joe.
Let's launch it, dummies.